back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Wanja. So today we're going to be looking at how endomorphs should work out and eat so that they do not end up bulking up. I did a video like this for the ectomorphs and for the mesomorphs, so if you'd love to check those ones out, especially if you're one of those, I'd recommend checking those out first before we get into this one. But now let's get started. In comparison to the other two body types, that is ectomorphs and mesomorphs, endomorphs find it the hardest to lose fat in their bodies and are the ones who are most likely to bulk up. The reason for this is because endomorphs have a very low metabolism compared to ectomorphs who have a really high and fast metabolism. So for ectomorphs, it's really not so easy for them to bulk up compared to the endomorphs for that reason. So some quick characteristics of endomorphs. They are, well, most people say they are short and solid, but I've seen endomorphs who are really tall, like they're super tall. As I said in my last clip, they have a slow metabolism. They also find it really hard to lose weight, and they gain weight really quickly. The other characteristic has to be with them having a really large bone structure. And the one thing I really admire about endomorphs, and this is one which I'm actually jealous about, is that endomorphs, if they train right and they eat right, they have such a strong physique, like their physical attribute is super strong. And for me, being an athlete and an ectomorph, my strength is not as high as for endomorphs. So I always find it hard, especially when you're tackling someone with an endomorph body type. So yeah, that is, I don't even know where that came from. Now I'm going to give you some tips, especially if you're an endomorph, and how you should work out and eat the right way, especially if you don't want to bulk up. So my first tip for endomorphs would be avoid too much HIIT. Actually, I have these tips on my blog, which I did some few days ago. It's right there. I'm going to maybe leave a picture here so that if you find this video too boring to watch, I hope not, you can as well just read it, or you can just go through the blog later just for reference. So tip 1 is what I was saying about avoiding too much HIIT, especially if you are an endomorph. Now the reason for this is, I'm going to give some 2 reasons. The first reason is that when you're doing HIIT, your body looks for energy mainly from carbs and not fat. And the reason why you want your body to look for energy in fat is because it's the fat that you want to lose. However, when you're doing HIIT, your body looks for energy in carbohydrates. You'll end up retaining most of the fat. And the reason for that is because once you're doing HIIT, you're panting, you're sweating, you're looking for the quickest source of energy, and your body will mainly go to carbs because that's the quickest form of energy. I mean, that's the bread you had in the morning, or that's the rice you just had. Like, the body will just go to that rather than going to the fat, which is essentially what we want. So when it comes to endomorphs, I would recommend just doing HIIT maybe once a week. The good thing with HIIT is that it burns calories very quickly, so once a week would be ideal, but not more than once a week for endomorphs. My second tip for endomorphs I would recommend is low resistance training. These are workouts which are done in a form which is very low in intensity. People who do such workouts include myself, include people who essentially have workouts that are very, I hope there's not too much background noise, people who do workouts which are very model inspired. Rachel Attard, Alexis Ren, Amy Wong sometimes, Chloe Ting. Essentially want to look for trainers who are doing workouts like this. They are workouts which are not done very quickly. They can run for up to 45 minutes, like you're just doing it slowly. You're not panting, you're not sweating. You want to take your body to the fat burning zone because the fat is what you want to lose. I actually did a video for the workout trainers whose workouts might not bulk you up, and you can check that here. So how many times would I recommend doing load resistance training? I would say maybe 3 times a week. So you want to do HIIT once a week, and then you want to do resistance training 3 times a week. If it's confusing, I have an entire post on workouts which you can check every single day, and you'll be able to work out the right way. My other tip for endomorphs would be including power walking every single day except for the rest day, which is Sundays, or you can pick any other day which you want to rest, but I usually go for Sundays in my post, which I talk about. Now, the reason why power walking is such a good form of working out is because, number one, that's a good way to get your cardio in, and number two, power walking, which is basically walking at a medium fast pace. You know, you're not too fast and you're not too slow, is because power walking essentially takes your body to the low not to the low, to the fat burning zone, where you want your body to be when you're working out. So that's the main reason why power walking is such a great way, especially when it comes to leaning down your legs and slimming them down, because you're essentially doing a workout for a very long period of time and your body is in the fat burning zone. So that is the 2 reasons why walking is such a good recommendation, especially for endomorphs. So walking 5 times a week, resistance training 3 times a week, and HIIT once a week. Are we confused so far? I don't think so. So now I'm sure if you're counting with me, you realize there's 1 day left, which is free, because we said low resistance training 3 times a week. So that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then on Thursday you can do a HIIT. Then on Friday now is a day which is left for free, and you can include running in it. Now, I do not recommend running as much. That's why it's only once a week. And the reason for this is running is like HIIT. It burns loads of calories and it doesn't take your body to the fat burning zone, because it uses carbs to, the body uses carbs for energy when you're running in place of fats. But at the same time, you burn loads of calories while running. So that is why it's only once a week. And essentially such running will technically not bulk you up, because it's very minimal and it's just once a week. So running would be my other tip for endomorphs. So now let's look at the diet, especially for endomorphs who are looking to slim down, especially on their legs or basically any other part of their bodies without them bulking up. And the first tip is going to be the macros for the carbs, for the fat, and for the protein. Now for the carbs, it should be, just referring, 20 to 25% of carbs in their bodies. Now I know that is pretty low, and the reason is because, as I said in my very first clip, I said endomorphs don't do so. Endomorphs have like a slow metabolism, and you want to have as minimal carbs in your body as you can, because you don't want your body to be using carbs for energy. You want your body to be using fat. So you want to go for 20 to 25% carbs, and most of the time, don't even try get carbs from pastas, from rice, from bread. Try get more carbs from fruits and vegetables, especially from vegetables, because fruits have contains lots of sugars, but they work as well. So for the endomorphs, it should be 20 to 25% of carbohydrates with very minimal real carbs, you know. Just try go for fruits and vegetables as your main form of carbohydrates. And if you want to include the other form of carbohydrates, go for things like whole grain or oatmeal, or simply things that have the healthy carbs in them. So the other diet tip for endomorphs is fat. Now for the fat, this is going to be a bit shocking, because endomorphs need a lot of healthy fat in their bodies, just because of the reasons which I've been saying all through. You want your body to go to the fat burning zone, and when your body goes to the fat burning zone, you're essentially using fat for energy. So you need fat in that essence, and fat should be 45 to 50%. Yeah, that's a lot. That's like half the plate. But that doesn't mean you go eating fries and burgers and hot dogs. You simply want to get healthy fats in your bodies, avocados, sesames, nuts, fish, which are like high in good fat, because you want healthy fat in your body to induce your body to use fat as its main source of energy rather than carbohydrates. The other tip for endomorphs will be the macronutrients for proteins. Now, proteins are very important, especially because they usually keep you full for longer, and the protein is the other percentage which is not measured, which is now 30%. And that's how the macros for an endomorph should be. So once you draw out your plate, your circle should be almost half is fat, then a bit more is protein, then the lesser one is carbohydrates. Now for calories, this is not much of a difference compared to the other body types, except for ectomorphs who eat 1700 calories. For endomorphs, you should eat 500 less the daily recommended for women, which is 2000. So 2000 minus 500 is 1500 for calories for endomorphs. Now, I usually I know I've said this before, well, I hope I have said this before, that macros are more important compared to calories, because calories go away in such a short bit. You know, you walk to the shop, you walk downstairs, you're using calories, but macros are what is in your body, which is more important compared to the calories. And yeah, I hope I have mentioned everything I wanted to mention about endomorphs and how I think they should work out and how I think their diet should be. So till next time, see you guys. Peace.